The way you swim the 200 freestyle faster is by breaking it into 4 different sections. I want you guys to think about the 200 freestyle as 4 50s. Now this concept applies to both long course and short course. So if you're in a 25 meter or 50 meter pool, everything we're gonna talk about in this video applies. And at the end of the video, I'm actually gonna walk you through a specific workout. And that is the most valuable part of the video because I'm gonna break down all the important components you need to think about when you're training if you wanna swim faster in the 200 freestyle. And like I said, this applies to short course and long course. It applies to beginners and advanced swimmers. So whether you're competing in some competition or just trying to get faster in training, you gotta make sure you watch this video until the very end. Let's go ahead and break down these 4 50s, and I'm gonna walk you through some drills that are really gonna allow you to manifest this in your race. So the first 50, it's all about finding rhythm and easy speed. Now in this video, I'm gonna use the word rhythm a lot, so it's important that I define that so you have a good idea of what I'm talking about. So when you have good rhythm, it means you have flow. You're able to find balance with your stroke and you can maintain that rhythm over a really long period of time. So that kind of rhythm is really important in the 200 freestyle and above. Even for the 100 freestyle in long course, but especially the 200 freestyle, this is where you see that galloping stroke. Maybe it looks almost uneven. You know, if you think of a horse or a dog running really, really fast, there's like this gallop. And the horse can sustain that over a really long period of time. This might mean you breathe every 2 strokes. That's a part of the rhythm. You might breathe every 3 strokes or every 4. I recommend you breathe every 2 strokes, but whatever your rhythm is, you have to do that in training. And when you go to a competition in the first 50, you have to get into that rhythm. You can't swim different kinds of freestyle at different phases of the 200. Now we've done some other videos where I break down how you drop 10 seconds in those respective events, and you can actually change your stroke a little bit to do that, but in the 200 freestyle, you're not really doing that as much. Instead, you find your rhythm and you have easy speed. We didn't talk about the kick, we didn't do anything with our legs just yet. That comes in the second 50. So when you get to the second 50, you want to think about building tempo. You can really think about building the entire first 100 of the 200. Sort of like the first 50 of 100 in long course. In the first few strokes, you just want to find your technique, really get a good feel of the water, don't spin your wheels. In the 200 freestyle, you're doing that for the first 100 meters of the race or the distance. Again, you don't have to be racing to apply this concept. And then you really start to build that kick on the second 50. Notice how on the first 50, we're not talking about kick at all. Now, if you have the proper training and you do the workout we're going to talk about, or workouts like it, and you apply those concepts, you're going to be kicking in the first 50. It's not like your legs are just dragging and you got someone, hanging on the back of you. No, you are kicking, but you're not emphasizing the kick. And that's the important differentiation. So that happens on the second 50. That's when you start to bring in your kick and you're building your tempo and your speed all the way through the first 100. That's like the first half. And then when you flip into the second half, it's all downhill from there. That's when the intensity really needs to pick up. That's when your pain threshold is gonna kick in. And that's where, as the expression goes, the men are separated from the boys. And for the females, the equivalent of that. You guys know what I'm talking about. So the third 50, we are working the walls. This is where the pain starts to set in. So if you're in short course or in long course, you're gonna get 2 shots at this in short course because you get, more turns, twice as many turns. But even in long course, when you turn at that 100 mark, you gotta make your move. And what it means is making your move in terms of your intensity. So the first 50, we're cruising. The second 50, we're building. You should start to feel some pain on that third 50. And if you're well trained, you can carry that intensity by ramping up your kick into the fourth 50, and that's where you're basically sprinting to the finish. And what you're thinking about is maintaining your body position and your tempo, because what happens as you start to die, and I die in a figurative sense, you're not actually going to die, I hope. So you're going to maintain your body position and not let your tempo slow down. So when you start to die and you feel that fatigue, what happens is your tempo actually falls off a cliff. You start to move your arms slower. Everything just turns down. And so it's really important to maintain not only your body position, but your stroke technique on that final 50, because you don't want to let your technique fall apart and your tempo slow down. So you got to maintain tempo, maintain your technique, and that really comes in training, which we're going to talk about. Now, I often get a question about how do you actually split the 200 appropriately? And here's what you should think about. You should have about 10% of a fall off from the first 50 to the second 50, and then you maintain that through the next 3 50s. So I just spoke some math, so let me put some tangible numbers so you guys can vibe with me. So let's say on the first 50, you go 30 seconds, 30 even. On the second 50, you're probably gonna have about a 10% fall off, and then we wanna maintain that. What that means is we're probably gonna be about 32 to 33 seconds. And you wanna maintain that exact same time on the next 2 50s. So you're gonna go 32 seconds, and then 32 seconds again, ideally under 33 seconds. So you wanna have less than a 10% variance. So the wrong way to swim the 200 freestyle is if you go out in a 28, and then you go 32, 34, 37. That would be a really painful 200 because you're falling off the pace. Instead, you wanna have about a 5 to 10% drop off, and then you maintain that no more than 10% between the 50s. So this really applies for any speed. Let's say you're really fast and you're going 25 seconds on the first 50, you're probably gonna hold 27, 27, 27. Let's say you're a little bit slower and you're gonna go out in 40 seconds. Well, then maybe you're gonna go 40 seconds and then 43, 43, 43, trying to hold under 44 seconds on all those. Now in freestyle, the variance between the first 50 and then the next 3 50s should be between 5 and 10%. If you think about a stroke like the 200 breaststroke or the 200 butterfly, you're actually gonna have a greater variance between that first 50 and the next 50. And in backstroke, it's gonna be an even shorter variance. So each of the 200s have a slightly different variance, and it's really important to keep that in consideration when you're looking at your own results, not only in a competition, but also in training, if you're looking in the MySwimPro app, just to make sure that you're pacing yourself appropriately through the 50. Now that includes a dive. If you're looking at your training results, you should actually have an even less time distance between the first 50 and the second, third, and fourth 50. And that's simply because you're not diving in. So because you're going from a push, it should really only be like a 5-second variance. So take a second off. So in this example, if you're going 200 hard from a push, maybe you'd go 31 seconds, 32, 32, 32. And that would be a more appropriate split because you're not diving in. So you should have a little bit closer split times between each of the 50s. Now let's talk about how you can actually execute this and some things that you have to think about in training so you can make this happen in a competition. Now I do have technique as the overlying theme here. We're gonna focus on long axis mechanics and the mechanics that make up your rhythm and things that promote a rhythm. So I have 3 drills here, and I'm gonna break down why these drills or these concepts can actually help you in the 200 freestyle and how they should be applied to the 200 freestyle. This works also for the 100 freestyle, and if you stretch it out to like the 400 IM or the 400 freestyle, 500 freestyle in yards for the American folks, these are some things you wanna think about. So the first one is single arm freestyle. Now the way you want to do single arm freestyle is that you're focusing on hip rotation and developing rhythm with your breath control. So I mentioned rhythm a few times. Single arm freestyle is a more complicated drill. You really have to use your legs. If you use fins, that's great, but you're really promoting this rotational momentum developed from your hips. The second concept is the bow and arrow. So this is where you're in almost a streamlined position with one arm and your other arm is out of the water, elbow up at about a 45-degree angle. This is focused on developing balance and really driving yourself forward with your legs. And the third technique concept is the zipper drill. Zipper drill is all about high elbow. So anytime we're talking about freestyle or swimming in general, actually, it's all about the early vertical forearm. No better drill than zipper drill to do it both above the water and below the water to promote that high elbow position at all points of the stroke cycle. Now I really want to get into talking about how you can apply this in training, but first I want to thank today's video sponsor, Kayak Pro. I want to introduce you to one of my favorite dryland training tools, the SwimFast Ergometer from Kayak Pro. Thank you for sponsoring today's video. The SwimFast is designed to complement your pool training and help you build strength and technique out of the water so you can swim faster. It's perfect if you have limited access to a pool, so if you're tight on time, just spend 15 minutes per day on the SwimFast Erg and you'll see results almost immediately. I've tested it out for a while now and I've been getting stronger out of the water so I can apply it into the water. It's got variable resistance settings so you can challenge yourself and build your power and have an efficient pull. You can work on tempo at a lower resistance or build strength at a higher resistance. And if you want to push yourself even more, you can add in high resistance bands. The bench even rotates to help mimic the freestyle stroke. Remember that rotation we're talking about. Now the full and half palm hand paddles help you work on proper hand position, and that's really important when you transfer that into the water. Now Kayak Pro just released a 9-week training plan designed for this SwimFast platform, and you can connect your phone or tablet to the SwimErg via Bluetooth, and you can track your progress over time. This plan has helped swimmers improve their power output by up to 25% in just 4 weeks. So if you're looking for some motivation to keep training out of the water, I recommend trying out the SwimFast Erg. And if you're interested in learning more, head over to the link in the description below. Now let's get back into it. I have 3 concepts on the board with regard to training. The first is your breathing pattern. Then I have the infamous word rhythm, and then anaerobic and aerobic training. Let's go through them really quick, then let's get into the workout. So breathing pattern, I already mentioned it, breathe every 2 strokes. That's it, let's move on. If you guys disagree with me, let me know down below in the comments. Rhythm, that applies to the concept of number 1. The most efficient rhythm is developed by a breathing pattern of 2 strokes and 1 breath. And that's why breathing pattern should be every 2. You might be comfortable breathing every 3 or every 4. That's cool if it works for you. For a majority of swimmers, they're gonna get the most efficient rhythm in the 200 freestyle and above by breathing every 2 strokes, and that's what I recommend. And then the third concept is anaerobic and aerobic training. So when we're talking about aerobic training, we're talking about building your capacity and your endurance. And that is really important in the 200. Remember our split scenario. If you can't hold it together, you're just gonna fall apart. You're not gonna have that easy speed in the beginning. And if you don't have the anaerobic capacity, if you're not training at pace, and this doesn't mean just doing race pace training, but if you're not training your body and your musculature to handle that type of fatigue in a 200, which is only 2 to 3 minutes for most of you guys watching, then you're going to fall apart on the second half, and you're not going to be able to go easy speed in the beginning and then hold it together on that final 50. So that's why it's really important to balance both of those. So I want to get into this workout. Now this, I believe, is the most important part of the video, because this is when we talk about how you apply all of the concepts that we just talked about in training, because when you think about it, that's the thing that you do most of the time. So I have a workout here that I custom wrote for this video. It's in the MySwimPro app, and I'm gonna have the phone with me right here, and I'm gonna show you guys step by step. It's 4,500 meters, 90 minutes. It can be adapted both to be longer and to be shorter. And keep in mind also that the intervals are based on my swimming profile. So these are based on my best times. I believe my time here entered is about 50 seconds in the 100 meter freestyle. So if your times are slower than that, you're going to have different intervals, and the app will automatically take care of that, along with the effort levels, use of equipment, all that good stuff. Let's go into it. The warm-up is very simple: 400 freestyle, 850s kick, and then 650s drill. We're gonna go 2 of each of the drills that we just talked about. So you're gonna go 250s single arm freestyle, 250s bow and arrow, 250s zipper drill. That concludes the warm-up segment. Then we're gonna go into the preset, and this is really designed to develop that rhythm, to find the rhythm, and of course to get your heart rate warmed up for the main set. Now I call this the 200 free test set, because this is really gonna test your body and give you an assessment of where you are in the 200 freestyle. So let's talk about this preset. We're gonna go 2 rounds, 275s freestyle on a short rest interval. For me, that's 110. Then 4 75s freestyle on the 105, and then 2 75s freestyle on the minute. As you can see, the intervals are dropping. It should get more difficult, and then you alternate 2 4 2 on the repetitions. Of course, this workout is designed for a short course pool, so a 25-meter pool. It can be adapted very easily to be a 50-meter pool. Just keep that in mind. And at the end of the preset, it's just 100 IM, nice and easy to kind of reset yourself for round number 2. Now let's get into the main set. The main set is a juicy one. This one is basically, if you look at the pattern, we're descending from 200 pace plus 2 all the way down to 200 pace, and then 200 pace minus 1, and then 200 pace minus 2. So back to our example up here, if the goal time was to hold, let's call it 32 seconds. So we're trying to hold 32 seconds, 32 seconds, 32 seconds. And so because that's our target time, that is our established 200 pace. I'm gonna go ahead and underline that for you guys so you see what I'm talking about. So this is our goal time that we're trying to hold. Our best average pace for a 200 is 32 seconds. So when we do this 300 pull, we're just warming up our body, using our equipment, getting ourselves in the mindset of holding that kind of a pace. So the first part, I think of the 300 as like a preset to the main set, if that makes sense. But you're gonna go 850s freestyle on a semi-short rest interval, and you're gonna go 200 pace plus 2. So in this scenario, that means you're holding 32 seconds plus 2, so 34 seconds. Keep that number in mind. You're gonna go 850s, try and hold that. You're gonna go 100 easy, and then we're gonna go 650s, add 10 seconds rest to the interval. Now we're on the 55. 200 pace plus 1. So instead of the 32, now we're gonna hold the 33. I'm sorry, we held 34, now we're holding 33 because we're now 1 over our 200 pace. We go 100 easy after those. Then we go 450s freestyle, add another 10 seconds to the interval, so now we're on the 105, and you are trying to hold 200 pace. This is basically a broken 200 freestyle, so we're trying to hold 32 seconds, and that's our target time, and that is our assessment of how well we are holding on this set. We go 100 freestyle easy. Now we start to dip below the 200 pace. So now we're gonna go a 250s freestyle at the 115. We add another 10 seconds. 200 pace minus 1. Now we're getting into some real speed magic here. So instead of 32, we're holding 31, trying to get that moving. And then finally, we have 100 easy and a 50. The final 50, the interval doesn't really matter because it's your final 50. 200 pace minus 2. And so that means we're trying to hold 30 seconds. And if you're this example swimmer, this swimmer profile, that means you're pretty much going as fast as possible. You're not really gonna have much more juice. You really shouldn't be able to go too much faster than 200 pace minus 2. Otherwise, that means your 200 pace should be faster. So let's say you can go a 28 at the end of a set. That means your 200 pace should probably be a little bit faster. You should try and work on your capacity to bring that down. Actually, 28 wouldn't be too crazy, but if you're like 27, 26 in this scenario, that means you can probably hold a little bit faster, especially if you're doing that at the end of a set. The final part of the set is 550s freestyle on the 50. Perfect swimming. That means you are really focusing on your technique. You're putting it all together. Maybe you got a little bit sloppy as you get through that set, and that's where you put it all together at the end here, and you keep things composed. So let me know what questions you guys have down below in the comment section. While you're down there, make sure you subscribe and check out a few other links. We have some great resources to swim faster and smarter than ever before. Like I mentioned, this workout is available in the MySwimPro app, so make sure you check it out and you can follow it, modify it. The app will modify it for you. Available for iPhone and Android. And if you like this video, you're going to love the other videos I've done on how to drop 10 seconds, including the 100 freestyle. If you're thinking about dropping 10 seconds in the 200 free, you probably want to drop 10 seconds in the 100 as well. Make sure you check that video. It'll be linked over here. Wish you guys the best. Happy swimming, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.